Well, good morning people, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another rough ground session. This morning we are out on the rocks in the heavy stuff, hoping to pick up a cod or a wrasse codling. We've got the tail end of a northerly. It's a bit heavier than what I thought it was going to be, so I thought, right, I'll come south the doctor's house, give it a shot. And then I was driving down this morning, I'm driving past loads of different marks, I'm like, oh, should I try that? I thought, no, I'm going to stick to the plan. So I've stuck to it, and I've got to admit, I don't know if I'm slightly regretting it. The sea is a little bit, there's a bit more ground swell and a bit more lump than what I was hoping. There's no wind, it is dying off, it's forecast to die off, so I've just come to a south facing mark. Just going to chuck one in that way and hope that I can get away with it, but I've got a feeling I might be getting a bit of exercise today, because yeah, I just think I might end up moving around a bit. But anyway, it is what it is. Gear is it's the wrong way around. Century Eliminator X90, 14'6", 74 ounce. Lovely bit of kit for this sort of fishing. The winch is a Saragossa SW, is it SW 10,000 PG? Something like that. And a good bit of kit. That's loaded with 80 pound whiplash and 120 pound 4-strand braid. Business end, Trident pulley. That's a 4-row Chinook with a small crab bait, rotten bottom, 6 ounce gripper. And I'm going to alternate between dongles and normal J-hook setup today. Just to test it out, just see what the crack is. So let's get a bait out and see what today will bring. What will it bring? I'm not quite sure. I fished this area before, but not for probably 10 years. We've all just got to different areas, haven't we? For some reason, it's just not one of the places I typically fish, but we'll give it a crack today. Let's see if there's anything out there. It's as heavy as it gets around here. I mean, there's a lot of reefs and gullies and heavy kelp further out. It's about nearly 7, bottom water's about 9:30. It's a fairly big tide. I think it's about a 0.8 ebb. So there'll be plenty of movement. We should be able to cover a bit of ground, but we'll see. We'll see how the session progresses. Just had a good bite there. Yep. Nope. Leave that a minute. Still getting the odd twitch here, so I'll wind this in. Tide's properly racing out now. I've got about 50-60 yards of kelp heads in front of us, so it's a little bit tricky. The sea has dropped even in the last 45 minutes, so I'm going to go to the other end of this reef and chuck north into that slightly deeper water and just see. Yep, got something on. Come on. It's just a lottery once I get into that kelp lake, because you're just about to start coming through it now. I'm all over it. Yes, I am. Now, what have we got? I've got a little kelpie. It's not a big fish, but Here's a fish. Well, got to admit, people, I'm relieved with that, because I was beginning to think I'd made the wrong decision. He can just sit in that rock pool for a minute. It doesn't look like he's doing too good. I think he's gobbed that hook, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame, but that's just fishing occasionally, I'm afraid. So there he is. Little kelpie, lovely colours. That was on the dongle, but the dongle is right down. I was wrong about the Arlards or the Bonnie, because that's a potting boat, that. Obviously a lot of rough ground around here if those boys are putting the pots all over the shop. Bit of fresh bait in the water as well to attract some fish, hopefully. So at the minute, I'm pleased with that fish. Obviously it's just a small one, but you can't legislate for size. But the sea's calmed down loads even just since I got here. It's gone from like 3 or 4 foot and at times to a couple of foot, so it has opened up my options a bit. I'm tempted to fish the far side of this reef and cast north and east a little bit. I can see one other angler down there, and it did look like he had something before actually. So I'm beginning to feel a bit more optimistic, because I have to admit when I got here I was a bit like, oh, if I made the right decision here. So the problem I've got now though, it's a 0.88 tide. I just had a look before. The kelp heads are very exposed, so I'm having to work quite hard to keep my rod out of the way of them, because there's nothing worse than when one of those big bits of heavy kelp slops over your line, and it's a bit of a nightmare. So I think I'm gonna have, because I've had another fresh bait in there, haven't had another bite, so it might have just been that there was one fish knocking around. So I might change it up, go up there, got about roughly an hour at the bottom, might have 2-3 casts up there, and then as this starts to fill, as the tide turns, I might come back and have another couple of chucks into that gully there. So I think that's the plan. Right, we're on the other end of this reef, and the wind's picked up all of a sudden. It's kind of coming straight out the northwest, but I've definitely got more depth in front of us here. This reef sort of shears right off, so I'm gonna get a bait, fire out, and see what's out there. Avoid that crosswind getting blown into there. What we'll do. Right, still are a couple of larger sets of that residual groundswell from that northerly coming in, but should be all right. Bit of colour in the water. It's got that like milky tinge to it, as it often does up here, and there's been a bit of sea. Right, get that on there. Get the next rig made up. These swells are proven to be a bit tricky. There's a lot of undertow out there, and it's pulling me gear around quite severely. You can feel them down the braid, it's kelp and stuff like rasping off it. So I think I'm gonna have to get my hiking boots on again. And oh, well, I was saying that. I feel like I've just had a knock there. Yeah. Oh. Mate. Oh. That is fast, that. Absolutely fast. Oh, no. Do I have one more chuck? Or do I go back over there? I can't make my mind up. Against me better judgment, I'm going to have one more cast here. Right, I'm going to chuck this one a bit further to the left this time. Just in an attempt to try and get out of those swells. Might do the trick, but I might for the next 10-15 minutes just stand with a rod in my hand, because don't want me gear getting dragged all over the shop. Giving this a good go. I think there's anything here. We'll shift to the next spot. Shifted. The sea here is a lot more civilized than it was up there, so let's just see if this flood brings anything. Again, I'm just having to keep that line. I've still got a bit of a northerly trying to blow in all this kelp to me right, so I'm just trying to keep me braid well off the tops of it. The good thing is the tide's starting to flood, and these rocks go back quite steeply, so I'm automatically getting a bit more height as well as the rod, which is good. A little inquiry there. Maybe not. Definitely a small rattle, but nothing too positive. Strange, it's lovely and sheltered here, just up on the end of that reef over there. It was quite blowy. Very pleasant, yeah. Right. Second cast. Let's see if we can pull something out of this one. Typically, just as I'm putting my coat on, I'm all over the shop. I've just had a proper bite. I think there's definitely someone having a look there. Come on. Yeah, Definitely got an inquiry here. Definitely. Right, let's see. Should have tended to that when it was biting. Bollocks. Fish is biting away there. Ah, man. Frustrating that. Got a fish on, but it's absolutely solid. Ah, there's no worse feeling as that when your gear's just solid, but there's a fish on. Yeah, it's knocking away there. It's infuriating, isn't it, when that happens. But what can you do? Nout is the answer. Absolutely nout. Other than get a bait back in and keep going. Hellish snag, like, it was just solid. Snapped at the leader, which is, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've had a fast hold and snapped at the leader. It's rare that sinker or the hook or both don't go, so God knows. Well, tide is almost up to where I'm standing, so I'll have to shift back to the next skier, and I've got the same problem again. Don't tell me that I've lost that leader again. Right, this is probably going to be my second last cast. Patience has frayed a little bit, just lost everything. Tied new leader on, brand new rig, out 5 minutes. Lost everything again, so feeling a wee bit peed off, if I'm being totally honest. This one I'm just going to put fairly short and just see if there's anything in the kelp in front of us there. That was a better knock. Just had a hell of a thump there. Yep, still going. Don't want to hit it too early with it being a dongle. I mean, it might have just mouthed it, you never know. But one more tap and then I'll strike into it. Yep, got it. It's not a big fish, but it is a fish. It's given a reasonable account of itself, actually. Yeah, another kelpie, a bit bigger than the first. Well, that's made up for the frustrations of the past half hour, I must say. So, everything working as it should there. Just nicely hooked in the lip and that dongle, so that should just, whoops, just pop straight out as it has. And the trident pulley working perfectly as well. Up on that green sleeve, out the way, so That's saved the day, because the past couple of casts have been bloody annoying, and shorter truck just shows sometimes. Chucking the kelp in front of you, you never know what's there. So nice and lively. Cheers fella, we'll get you back. Tiny little bit of weight on here. Might be a bit of weed though. Did see a couple of knocks before. It's something on. Yep, it's a fish. It's not a big fish though, but it is a fish. God, that is one of the reddest little codling you'll ever see, that. Look at that. Jesus. I don't think I've ever seen one quite as red. Dongle just in the side of the mouth there, so hopefully that'll just pop out. There we go. Quickly let him get his breath back, but that is one of the smallest little kelpies I've seen, that. Well, it's been an enjoyable session really. Haven't really been any calamities to report. Rod and reel slowly went over before me reel took a bit of a graze, but other than that, nothing particularly bad, which is good. Although I'll share with you one recent calamity, because they are regular with me. I was away camping with my pal last weekend, and it was a Saturday night. We'd been on a walk, got back. I got stuck into a bottle of wine, well, we shared it, and then I sneaked in another can, and then we went out into a little town. So I was fairly well oiled, especially when you're tired after a walk. Went to this restaurant, nice local kind of owner occupied. People that own it are doing the cook and all that sort of stuff. Really small room with quite a lot of people in there. It was pretty much through a pint, so I was reasonably well oiled. And we got sat down. It was one bench at the back, loads of little tables, tables of two, so it was all quite close. Candles on the tables, all the usual little bits that you have. And we got talking straight away to this couple that was sat next to him. She was Northern Irish, he was Dutch. And we're just chewing the fat, and I'm sat there and I'm God, they must be using a really intense smoke flavour on some of the food in here, because I can really smell the smoke. Anyway, I'm talking away, I'm what the hell is that smell? It's really, really strong, the smell. And after a couple of minutes, this Dutch bloke leans over, he goes, excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, but your menu is in the candle. Sure enough, I'm just sat there with a paper menu, pretty much on fire in front of us, so there's just smoke coming straight into my face. I was well, that'll be what the smell is. The menu looked a lot more authentic after that, but yeah, so that's another classic example of the stupidity that I'm capable of, especially when I'm under the influence of booze. But other than that, it's been fairly quiet on that front today. So I'm going to fish the rest of this bait out. We are halfway into the tide now. The gullies are filling up quickly behind us. So probably give this a couple of more minutes and then hit the road. Right, well, that is the full time whistle, folks. So it's been enjoyable. It's a Friday, taking a day off work, so I was a little bit unsure about my decision at the start, but managed to find a few fish. Nothing massive, but that's just the way it goes. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks as always for watching, it is appreciated. Hope you've been out and about getting a few. Season's definitely changing, isn't it now? Late August, we've had the first sea of the year. It's kind of that time where there's all sorts kicking around, isn't it? But anyway, hope you've been out getting a few. Till the next one, tight lines, keep fishing. We'll see you soon.